Hey, ladies and gents, welcome to episode 10 of the Controlled Interest Gamecast, where we talk about video games and everything happening in the industry. As always, I'm joined by Jordan.
Oi, lads.
And Dominic.
Good afternoon, Jared.
How's it going, guys? So, jumping right into it, what we've been playing this week, I've been playing Overwatch Beta. It came available. So, the interesting thing is, it was open to people from the 3rd, I believe, who pre-ordered it, 3rd to the 9th. It's open to everybody. From the 5th to the 9th, and this is on console, PC, and PS4. Xbox, PC, and PS4. The game's amazing. It's really fun. It's actually going to be my topic later in the show. Been having a blast. Been playing that game on repeat. Loving it. Saw Civil War last night. We're going to have a discussion. We're going to be recording, and it's going to be up later this week as of you hearing this. Loved it. Best Spider-Man on film. Black Panther was fantastic. I'm not saying anything you haven't heard before.
Civil War's fucking dope.
Right. Great movie. Dom hasn't seen it yet, so we don't want to get too spoilery. But yeah, just been playing a bunch of Overwatch, nothing new, and Civil War was awesome. So what about you guys?
First of all, the Civil War thing. If you don't have cereal in your mouth or a van full of nuns, then go to see Civil War immediately. Get to the theater nearest you. Throw some money in a dude's face. Get some popcorn, sit down, and watch that incredible movie ASAP.
I understand what you're saying, but a van full of nuns.
Well, obviously you haven't been listening to Podcast Beyond or the Kind of Funny Games cast / PSL long enough.
Okay. So, all right. Fair enough.
But besides that, I've been playing, just played a little bit of Ratchet & Clank yesterday. Just for kicks and gigs. Then I've been playing a little bit of Battlefront. I don't have too much to say about that because I've played like less than an hour and a half of that game. It's cool. I'm enjoying the sci-fi vibes. I definitely feel like it's kind of an empty game without the season pass, but that's kind of conversation for another time. Besides that, the bulk of my week, I spent several hours on Quantum Break. Still really enjoying that. That game, man, like, especially if you're an Infamous fan, you got to play that game. If you got an Xbox, you got to play that game. If you like action games or third-person shooters, you got to play that game. I would totally recommend Quantum Break to people.
Any Persona?
No, I didn't. I haven't played Persona in a second. I haven't turned my PS3 on in a minute. Crap. I know there was something else I was playing. Oh, I've been playing a ton of Dead Nation on Vita because I've been wanting to play Alienation on Vita, but, you know, that's not a thing. And the remote play usually my remote play works great, but it was kind of messing up on me the other day. So I just started up a campaign on Dead Nation, and I've probably played that for, like, at least 10 hours this week. So lots of Dead Nation, and then I seriously feel like there was something else I was playing on my PS4, but I don't know. I might remember it. Go ahead, Dom.
What have I been playing? Pictionary, Cards Against Humanity. No, I'm just fucking around. I finished Ratchet and Clank. It was pretty cool. Real fun. The last boss was actually kind of a challenge. It was interesting. Yeah, super fun game. We've praised it enough on here already, so I won't be redundant. But otherwise, I just keep on digging through, grinding along Dark Souls, making some serious progress this past week, actually. And I love every minute of it. Oh man! And actually, I want to point out one flaw that I never realized with Dark Souls 3. That's never been a problem before. You can't upgrade armor. I mean, I've recently just went through, like, I don't even know how you say it. Erythral?
Erythil?
Erythil, that's probably, yeah. Roaming abouts there. No,
the boss in that area is awesome, from what I've seen. It's really cool. You'll have a fun time with him. He seems like the hardest boss in the game so far, so.
Can't wait.
Alrighty, so let's get right into the news here, guys. The first story has to do with what we talked about last week, the COD 4 remake. So, you know, it was revealed earlier this week that the new Call of Duty Infinite Warfare game is going to have COD 4 in it. And this comes by way of IGN, and it basically talks about how the Activision CEO made some comments talking about the trailer. And he says there just aren't many entertainment franchises on Earth that can generate the kind of passion that Call of Duty can. and the Infinite Warfare trailer got a ton of hate as far as dislikes go. And the CEO actually came out and pointed out that Black Ops had some of the, I think it was like their highest disliked video or trailer that they had ever released, and it was their best-selling game. So he basically goes on to talk about how their trailers get tons of dislikes, but they get tons of views and tons of likes as well, so you should really take that into account, right? And he says that this is an industry like no other and a fan base like no other. We love that our fans treat this franchise like their own and have such strong points of view about it. And then I want to get to this point here. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. He makes a very valid point. So, because people are complaining about that it takes place in space, right? He says, where is it? I'm trying to find it. What we know for sure is that we always did what worked in the past and never took any creative risks. We wouldn't have a franchise. I read that wrong. What we know for sure is that if we always did what worked and we didn't take any risks, we wouldn't have a franchise. He said the day to worry is the day we stop trying new things. So he's basically saying, people shit on Call of Duty for the longest time for not changing, but now that they're changing, it seems like people are getting weary of that, but that's not the case because their games sell. So it's pretty interesting for a CEO like this to come out and talk about it, especially Activision. A lot of people dislike Activision off the get-go. What do you guys think about his comments saying that, people may say they hate this game, but it sells? So, I mean, that's really the point there, right?
Well, yeah, he's right. I mean, basically he's saying no press is bad press. I mean, ask Donald Trump about that. Like, people love to talk about how much they hate Call of Duty, but that kind of just, people are still talking about it.
About Call of Duty, yep.
Right, and he's right. Obviously, it sells like bonkers. I also like his point, though, about trying new things and making, even though they come out with something every year, however incremental they do make changes and iterations to each game, right? So he's got a point. Like, you wouldn't want Call of Duty Modern Warfare the same every single year. Like, they had to change things up, otherwise it wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah. Jordan, what do you think about this whole situation?
I agree with Dom. I mean, Black Ops 3 from Ghost and Advanced Warfare is very different from what I think even Infinite Warfare will be. So, I mean, I don't have a problem. Just like I don't have a problem with Assassin's Creed going every year. I really don't have a problem with Call of Duty coming every year because they're, like, seem like great games. They have really polished mechanics and they have cool game modes with the zombies and stuff and tons of content every year. So I don't think that it's not worth $60. Like, when people complain about annualized franchises, I don't understand that, because I get that there's some people that only buy like 3 games a year, but I mean, even when I was a kid and I barely had any money, like $60 a year wasn't that big of a deal. Like,
yeah,
it comes around once a year and you know, maybe sell a few games or mow a few extra yards or something. But like, if you love Call of Duty and you want the new mechanics and the new gameplay modes, all that stuff, like, I think it's worth $60 a year. Just like to a lot of people, Madden or FIFA is worth $60 a year.
Yeah, and I think having that tentpole series, like, I mean, I think we're in the minority of gamers, even having a gaming podcast where we play a fair number of games, right? A lot than probably the average person.
Yeah.
But there's people who look for these like tentpoles of like, oh, I'm going to get Call of Duty every year, and ever so often they see another game they're interested. Having something you can count on every year is awesome. Kind of like going with the MCU, it's like, oh, these movies are coming out so often, but I know for a fact I'm going to have at least 2 movies a year that I'm going to love, right? No matter what, there's going to be 2 movies that I love. And I guess that's the same thing with gaming, is whether they're annualized or not, you know that like every year you're going to have something you love with Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty. And I like that he had the balls to talk about this. Like, a lot of CEOs wouldn't say this kind of stuff. And he's like, you know what? People say they hate our game, but they buy it, you know? And I think he has a point, and I think it was good of him to come out and say this, because people always think of, you know, Activision is this or that, and you heard it straight from the mouth. He's like, you guys may say you dislike the game, but you guys buy it every time it comes out. So the second story here comes from comes by way of GameSpot. Timur Hussein, butchering that name, butcher one name a week, it seems like. An image of what is reportedly the protagonist of Watchdogs 2 has appeared online, and this comes by an Instagram account. It's this guy with a laptop with a picture. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's a picture of a guy who looks like he's from Watch Dogs, and the caption on the Instagram picture says, "Had a blast doing motion capture work as the lead character in a new video game series," and he even captions it #WatchDogs2. And I don't know how many followers the account has. I'll just read you the article here. It says the account is now private, but an image of the post was captured. It features what looks to be a character of Asian descent sporting a baseball cap and a bandana covering his mouth. Going off of this real quick, Watch Dogs 2 is rumored to be in San Francisco. San Francisco has a pretty big Asian population, so it's pretty cool. Also, it's just cool to see a minority. If this is the protagonist, it's cool to see a minority, head up a video game franchise. I think that's really cool.
It's Glenn from The Walking Dead. Even none.
We have enough white dudes, It'd be cool if it was him. He's a great actor. It says he's also wearing a messenger bag, yada, yada, yada. Ubisoft previously stated a sequel to Watch Dogs will launch before the end of its next financial year, which is April 2017. The first Watch Dogs sold more than 9 million copies into retail, and its creative director has been vocal about what it would like to do next. This hasn't been confirmed that this is the picture, but it's off of a laptop. But it is. He could have just found this somewhere, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if we should read too much into it. But it is cool to see any news on this game because, it's funny how we went from having Watch Dogs bombarded in our face every year at E3 for like 5 years to not really hearing anything about Watch Dogs 2 for a while. So, do you guys think this picture is real?
Yeah, but they sold 9 million copies of Watch Dogs 1.
Yeah,
that's good.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm ready for Watch Dogs 2. I've got the it's actually the only physical game that I do have, but I got the Watch Dogs original game like super cheap on PS4, so I'll play that once they actually announce the game. But I think this is totally real because
people make
this
fluffs.
happens all the time.
Yeah,
with voice actors and motion capture guys, like it just happens. And so yeah, this just looks totally legit to me.
Speaking of voice actors, you had a new story for us this week, didn't you?
Yeah, I've actually got a couple of stories over here. One of them is newsworthy, and one of them is kind of just something I wanted to bring up and kind of voice my support on. So the first one is a Kickstarter, and it's for a game by Bloomy Light Studio, which I think is French, and it's inspired by, like, I don't know if you guys are fans of the Studio Ghibli anime films, or Hideo Miyazaki, who directs most of their films. But the game itself is called Lin and the Spirits of Inao, and it's a 2D side-scroller action adventure type. It's got like Metroidvania stuff and environmental changes that you can do with your powers. But it looks really cool. It looks like, if you are a Studio Ghibli fan, the bosses look like monsters from the movies, and the art direction looks like it's from one of their movies, and it looks perfect in my eyes. I just can't wait. So this is probably going to be the first Kickstarter that I actually end up backing.
The link will be in the description if you're interested in actually checking out the Kickstarter and see if you want to donate yourself. So if you go to our YouTube,
please do.
On the news breakout, it'll be in the description. So definitely take a click on that and check out the game for yourself. It looks cool. It looks like a Studio Ghibli film in a game. It looks incredible.
But yeah, I totally think it's awesome, and super excited for that. They're saying it's only PC right now, but if they get like stretch goals done, then they might do, probably PS4 and Xbox One. I'm hoping for a Vita release because it looks like it would be perfect on Vita, but that's probably like a stretch of a stretch goal. So currently they are sitting at 20,901 pledged out of a 60,774 goal. So they've got 26 days to go. I think they'll get that done. And yeah, I'm going to be backing them up because it looks like an awesome game. So check her out. And then the second story is actually news that is coming to us from GameInformer.com. And it says, Dishonored 2 taps vocal talent from Game of Thrones, Daredevil, and The Wire. I wanted to bring this up because this voice cast is off the cheesy, my dudes. The original Dishonored has no shortage of voice acting. This is me reading the story. Tapping big names like Susan Sarandon, Lena Headey, and John Slattery to bring its characters alive. The sequel is promising an equal commitment to quality with a new bevy of familiar voices from Hollywood, television, and even classic games in the stealth action lineage. So first off, we have Vincent D'Onofrio from Daredevil most recently, known as Kingpin.
And Gomer Pyle,
And
Full Metal Jacket.
true that. And then we also have his co-star in Daredevil, Rosario Dawson, who is the Night Nurse, is what she technically plays in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
So then we have Pedro Pascal, who was Prince Oberyn in Game of Thrones Season 5.
The Viper.
Season 5 or 4?
4.
4. My bad. I think he was awesome character, awesome actor in that show, so super excited to see him on this list. Then we have Sam Rockwell, who's one of my favorite actors. This dude's the best. You can see him in movies like Moon,
One of my favorite movies of all
Hitchhiker's
time.
Guide to the Galaxy, and The Green Mile. Moon isn't one of my favorite movies of all time, but Moon is an awesome movie, and you should definitely check it out.
Sam Rockwell, Kevin Spacey. Great.
Yes, Kevin Spacey plays the voice of a really weird-looking robot. Then we have Jamie Hector from The Wire and Heroes. Then we have Robin Lord Taylor, who is currently playing Penguin in Gotham TV series.
Yeah, I know that guy. I've never seen the show, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Then Steven Russell is going to be playing Corvo Atano. And I was thinking back, and I guess Corvo's totally a silent protagonist in Dishonored 1.
The 2 hours I played, I don't remember him talking.
Yeah. And then last but not least, we have Erica Luttrell, who is going to be playing Emily Caldwin, who's now all grown up and looking like a badass assassin. It says she is best known for Keisha Franklin in the Magic School Bus and Darla in Fallout 4.
You haven't seen those, man?
Dude, I love Magic School Bus, and of course, Fallout 4 is a well-beloved game. So this voice cast is looking uber dope. What do you guys think about this? I'm super excited for this game because I love Dishonored 1. I love that awesome universe that they created. And okay, one tiny thing I want to mention here that I've been thinking about for Dishonored 2. Bethesda's already known with like Skyrim and Fallout for having their games go between first person and third person. Do you guys think that we could have a third person point of view for Dishonored 2?
I think it would work in the right situation. I'm just going to go real quick with the voice cast. I think Lena Headey being in more video games is cool. I love her as an actress. She's going to be in Final Fantasy 15. Or the movie. I don't think she's going to be in the game, but she's going to be in the movie, the Kingslave.
Right.
But anything she's in is awesome. Oberyn Martell, that guy was fantastic. I haven't seen him in anything else, so I'll recognize his voice, obviously, when I play this game. I think it's a phenomenal cast. Vincent D'Onofrio is a tragically underrated actor. He was fantastic in Full Metal Jacket. He was in Law & Order for the longest time. Law & Order SVU. The guy's just a great actor. So I think it's a star-studded cast. I don't know if I'll play this game off of launch. Like I said, I played 2 hours of the first Dishonored, didn't really get the hooks in me, but the voice cast got me excited, and that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jordan. It's off the cheesy.
Full
I never did play. I never did play the first one. I just missed it. It was just slipped through the cracks, right? So I actually own it. So it's gonna be at the front of the backlog. You know, that's the next thing I want to get done before this new one comes out. Shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, and we have a release date for this. Got announced recently. November 11th, I believe.
Yes, thank you for including that. That's important.
Yeah, so looking forward to it.
Dom, do you think, since you are a Fallout 4 fan, do you think we could ever see, kind of like how Ubisoft lets their, like, some of the stuff in Fallout bleeds to Assassin's Creed and back and forth with Watchdogs and stuff? Do you think we could see them borrow that first to third? When I play my action adventure games, I would always choose third person over first, just because it feels like I can see my character and the gear that I'm getting and the weapons I'm using. It just feels so much more like the connection is stronger for me.
You must be pumped for VR then, huh?
That's interesting.
Oh, exactly.
I always first person. I don't really like third person. That's super interesting.
Because like even Insomniac's Edge of Nowhere looks so much more interesting to me in VR because it is third person, and I'm like, yeah, everyone's talking about how you have to be in first person in VR, and that doesn't connect for me.
I think for Dishonored, they need to keep it first person. Just the way the game works, it reminds me kind of Dying Light almost. You're not like necessarily climbing, but you're using that
The
that blink ability a lot to
Yep.
jump forward. I don't know. Some of the mechanics to me seem like they work better in first person. I mean, I could be way off about that. Maybe it'd work great. We'll see.
I think if it was like a stealth section, it could make sense because you can see around corners and you can peer and you can kind of get a feel for things. But I don't know as far as like the very fast paced sections of the game or these areas. I don't know if third person would lend itself well to the gameplay.
Right. Like in Skyrim and in Fallout, when I'm just wandering around, I always switch to third person. But during combat or
in houses, because you don't want to steal something, I'm always first person.
Right.
Yeah.
Always first person. Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that it was like kind of clunky like that.
I'm just not comfortable with it. I'm more comfortable like if I'm in a house or something, I want to be able to have more precise like decision making, and to me it doesn't seem like it's very precise in third person. I don't even really like going third person that much. If I get a like new gear or something, I'll definitely check it out. But the thing is like I couldn't imagine Dark Souls in first person. So it's kind of like I guess that game I enjoy in third person because that's the game, obviously.
The mechanic, like the third person mechanics in Dark Souls are so much better.
Yeah.
Than how it functions in Fallout or Skyrim, right? That's the real difference. So if they got it to, and this is still Bethesda, we're talking about different studios, but if they were, able to make it function and be as tight and as, I guess, quality controls that you see in a Dark Souls, then third person could be viable. But
yeah, it's a lot to ask of a studio.
The thing is with this, before we move on to the next topic, is I hope this is a Mass Effect situation where the first one, not a whole lot of people played it. It was a little clunky, but 2, they hit it right on the sweet spot. Mass Effect 2 is head and shoulders better than Mass Effect, so I really hope that Dishonored, 2 brings in a lot of people that didn't play the first one or played the first one, didn't really like it like myself, and it just nails it out of the park. Because it seems like a world I want to get invested in. It's just, I couldn't really do it in the first game, so.
Hell yeah, that world, like I've mentioned it already, but I really love it. And speaking of the first one, the definitive edition's like $20, started out that way on PS4 and Xbox One, so I'd recommend that because it has all the DLC packs, and I'll probably get the platinum in that before the second one comes out because I want to do the I watched my friend do this when it came out on 360 originally, do the stealth like no kill run, and then there's ones where like no one even sees you, like a total shadow run. So like the platinum trophy on that is actually really cool and interesting to get.
Alrighty, so before we run too long here with the news, I want to get into our last story here. So 6 new games were inducted into the Video Game Hall of Fame this year. I'm going to name for you guys the first class that was announced last year. Then I'm going to give you guys a hint and you guys are going to guess. We're going to try to get through this as quick as possible. So the games that were actually in the first class for the Video Game Hall of Fame were Doom, Pong, Pac-Man, Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, and World of Warcraft. So, a fair balance of games. Obviously, Tetris up there, Super Mario Brothers, Pong, Pac-Man, World of Warcraft, what it did for the MMO space, Doom for first-person shooters. So they all obviously did something in gaming that was very important. So you guys are going to guess the next 6, okay? So the first one, the clue I'm going to give you is dysentery.
Oh, it's Oregon Trail?
Yeah. Oregon Trail is the first one. And this is just answer if you get the answer. Answer if you have the answer in your head. I'm not going to go back and forth. So once I say the clue, whoever thinks they have it. The second one, Blue Animal.
Smurf.
No.
Blue Animal.
I'll give you a second clue.
I didn't think Smurf was a game. I was just saying Smurf.
Blue Animal, Fast.
Sonic.
Yep.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic's the second game, so we have 2 down. Hey, listen.
Ocarina of Time.
Navi?
No. It's Legend of Zelda. I couldn't think of how to say something with just the original Legend of Zelda. And,
hey, listen.
So Legend of Zelda.
See now, Jared, I'm gonna keep interrupting you throughout the episode, just saying,
hey, listen.
I don't know how to explain this one. You make people and then you watch them live life.
Sims.
Yep, Sims. That one's way too easy. So we got Oregon Trail, Sims,
that
Legend
was
of
so
Zelda,
philosophical the way you clued that game in.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
You watch them die.
Not Galaga, but the other game kind of like it.
Pac-Man? No, that's already in there.
Adam Sandler made a movie about this.
Galaxy Warrior 3: Death of the Galaxy.
Space Invaders.
Space Invaders,
Oh.
yeah.
The last game.
I knew it was something like that. I couldn't remember.
The last game in the list. Not San Andreas.
Grand Theft Auto 3.
Grand Theft Auto?
Dom got it. Grand Theft Auto 3. It's a third one. It's kind of hard to speculate. I didn't play Grand Theft Auto 3, so I don't even know the story. Yeah, so the list is Grand Theft Auto 3, Legend of Zelda, Oregon Trail, Space Invaders, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sims. The only one that's weird to me is Sonic the Hedgehog, for it being in the second class of Hall of Fame inductions. I think that's weird to me. I think Sonic is kind of overrated. It just seems weird to me. It seems like there's like, why isn't Castlevania in it? Like, why didn't Castlevania get it? Or Mega Man? It just seems Sonic the Hedgehog. That's weird. Maybe they're like, we need to get a Sega game in there. I don't know. It was weird to me to see it on this. Space Invaders makes sense. It's a classic. Legend of Zelda, obviously. Grand Theft Auto 3 revolutionized the Grand Theft Auto franchise and like games like that. Period. Oregon Trail, obviously, for that kind of style of game. The Sims for simulators, obviously. It just seems like Sonic was a weird addition. It seems like there could have been plenty other games that could have gone in there above it. Really weird. But that is your 2016 World Video Games induction. Hey guys, Jared here, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button. And if you really like us, hit that subscribe button so you can be tuned in and updated whenever we upload a new video. If you haven't been following us on Twitter, that's CTRLINT, @Controlled Interests. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one.